Oh, he's only got to reel it down.
That's the jingle for Carl's diary. We had bacon and egg on toast. I'm eager to get through the brown sauce, as the bottle is too big to go in any cupboard, so it has to be left on the sideboard. So I had about 4 dollops of the stuff. I love the, you know, that made it into the diary. He's concerned about the fact the brown sauce is too big, so he's rushing through it.
I know, but I'm just saying the kitchen isn't that big, and it looks messy when you leave stuff out, doesn't it? And we've got this giant brown sauce bottle, and I don't want to chuck it away because that'd be a waste.
So you're having brown sauce and everything, your cornflakes,
yeah.
in your tea.
Yeah.
A wasp got in the flat. You know trouble's brewing. It was massive. The biggest wasp ever. Suzanne asked me to get it out, but I wanted to take a picture of it first. I was getting my phone ready when it flew at me. I reckon the sting on it could have killed a kitten.
So specific.
It ended up flying out the window on its own. Drama averted.
Oh, God.
We went out for tea. You're always in a cafe. That's what this diary. You spend so much time in a cafe. There were loads of flying ants. I kept kicking the table because I could feel them on my legs. I wouldn't be that jumpy normally, but I still had flashbacks of the giant wasp from the morning. Suzanne told me to stop being stupid because I was ruining her night out.
A night out in a cafe. Brilliant. Oh,
what was it, her birthday?
And flashbacks from an incident.
Yeah.
Like he's some sort of, like, war veteran. What is it? It's the wasp. It could have killed a kitten.
Bought some wallpaper. We got back and got on with it. The wall that we've papered before has got a big mirror under it. We papered on top of it again. I ended up reading my phrase book while Suzanne did the rest of the tidying up. Now, what's your phrase book? This is just you trying to master English, is it?
It's just a book that tells you little sayings and how they came about.
An interesting phrase is potluck. It came about when all people ate is stews. They used to chuck all sorts of stuff into the stew. You stuck your spoon in, and sometimes you got something nice like beef, or you could end up with a bit of frog. It's potluck.
Good, that, isn't it?
That's what it said in the book, did it?
A bit of frog.
Got up and checked the wallpaper out. There are loads of air bumps and it's buckled on the joins. I wish we'd never done it. Suzanne said the washer was broke and it's out of its warranty. She called up the people who made it and they said it will cost £150 to fix. I don't know how they know that when they haven't even seen it. I want to smash it to bits and see what they can do for £150. So much anger.
I want to smash it to bits. That'd be great, wouldn't it? 150, you sure?
Yeah.
Come round.
Yeah.
And it's just like a cube that's been through one of those car crushers.
Yeah.
150 quid, there's 150 quid, fix it.
I watched the news and calmed down a bit, because there was a story about some Siamese twins who are having an operation. They've got 2 heads, 4 arms, 2 legs, 1 liver. The doctor said they will have 1 leg each. I felt bad worrying about the washer when people have bigger problems like the Siamese twins. Ricky and Steve asked me to do a poem about 1 day a week, so I thought I'd do one today. I can't obviously do it justice, so I should let the master read it.
You've done another poem?
Yeah, you said, just do one. If you have a day where you've had a lot of emotions.
Well, I loved the poem, and so did the listeners, and I knew they would, so if you can do that every week, that'd be a joy for me.
You can't force a poem, though.
No, I
so
know.
A diary's easy to do, because you just write down what you're doing.
But
yeah.
you've got to have some really meaty subject matter to be able to write a poem, Rick, as you'll discover.
I know.
Right, so, you've heard what problems I had that day.
Go on then.
Bubbled wallpaper. What a mess. Washer dry and knackered. What a mess. Siamese twins separated. 1 leg less.
I don't know what rhyming scheme that is again. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, fuck me. Well, there you go. That's the end of episode 2 of series 3 of the Ricky Gervais Show. More next week. More drivel, more diary, another poem, I hope.
Maybe.
Just more news and stuff. From me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Karl Pilkington.
Right.
Hello, welcome to number 3 in the 3rd series of The Ricky Gervais Show. With me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Hello there.
and of course, Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Had a good week, Karl?
Alright, just boring. It's a boring week. Because that sort of kidney operation I've had, it's just affected my life in a big way.
How are you now, Carl? Are you feeling better?
Better than it was last week.
Because last week you really were not putting the effort in, were you?
And it's your own fault. You know, you got kidney stones, you don't drink enough water.
That's what I've been doing this week. Just drinking. You said what sort of week have you had? What have you been up to? That's what I've done. I've drank water. That's all I've been doing. If there's a water shortage in London, it's because of that. Honestly, that's what you have to do. It's just boring. Just like a basking shark, just sort of with its mouth open, just going through the water. Sick of it.
Oh, he's led the life of plankton for 1 week.
Have you been able to do anything, or have you just been resting?
It's best to rest. Just because, your body's still in shock, even though in the head, physically, I thought it was alright. The body sort of just acts in weird ways.
Brilliant.
It's a weird thing, isn't it? Like I said last week, you don't think about your body until there's something up with it. And then you panic a bit. And then you go, right, I'm going to look after it from now on. I've been given a second chance here.
As I said before, this was not a life-threatening illness or operation.
No, but it's that same thing. The last time I had it was when I nearly choked to death on the Mr. Freeze Pop.
Right.
Where I had that sort of, what do they call it when you have like a second coming? Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing where
I don't think you're the second coming.
No, but that thing of...
If you are, we're all screwed.
You mean the second chance?
Yeah, it's a second chance thing.
Your life flashes before you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you get you suddenly feel kinder. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, you sort of go, right, that was a bit of a warning. Be
like
good,
Scrooge?
Be good to people and stuff. Yeah, a little bit. I think it's normal.
So are you now a nicer person? You're giving more generously to charity and the like?
Well, I haven't been out, so I can't do anything. I can't help anyone. Yeah.
Go online and...
But maybe, once...
Donate some money, all this cash you're in.
No, I've given enough money away. Sick of it. But,
Things have changed.
So he hasn't changed at all then, no?
But you've also got to be careful as well, because there's that thing of, you can drown yourself, by having too much water.
Yeah.
So it's just getting that balance right of not having too much and filling yourself up.
Well, yeah, it's that balance, right, of not dehydrating and, becoming like a desert jellyfish, like a little crisp, and drowning yourself.
Yeah.
You're right, it is a balance. That's exactly what you've got to do.
I don't know how you've managed it, Carl. It's very complicated.
Yeah.
No, but
what I do is when I'm thirsty, I drink, and when I'm not thirsty, I don't.
Yeah, but that's the problem with me. Whatever it is that's in your head that says you should have a drink, I don't really have one.
It's called a brain.
It's called a brain. Yeah.
It's the brain that tells you. Yeah.
But the brain's never thirsty. I only think of drinking when I'm eating. And I'm not eating as much because my kidney's weird. I don't want to put any pressure on it, so I don't drink. So now, if I have it in front of me all the time, I go, right, I've got to have that.
Yeah.
So I feel a bit better.
Good.
It's just been a long week. Because when you don't do much, it's just, time doesn't whiz by.
And normally your weeks are packed, as we know, with visits to the cobblers.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like they say, innit? They say,
following an ant.
Exactly, yeah. You've got a hectic schedule.
I know, I don't know how you fit it all in.
But, because I was close to death and everything.
You weren't close to death.
I've been thinking about, other people who've been in that situation where they're dying and what have you. And it's weird how, like, in a way, do you know, like they say before you die, things to do?
Yeah.
I've never heard that sentence before. I don't know if they say.
Well, I've extrapolated from that. What you mean is there are certain things you should do before you die. Swim with dolphins, etc.
Yeah. But in a way, because I've had such a boring week, it's been a long week. So if I was dying, don't go swim with dolphins because you'll love it and the time will whiz by and you go, oh, there's another day gone. Whereas I've been sat at home watching, The Price is Right and stuff. And it's just like, oh, it's only 4 o'clock. Oh, this is dragging. So if I was dying, I'd go, yeah, it's dragging, but I've got ages more left to live.
Yeah. What's the point?
But it's really about quality of existence, isn't it, when you're dying?
No, but anyway, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Been a boring week. But what I've been doing is going on the internet, sort of learning stuff, watching more documentaries about stuff.
Yeah. Okay, tell me something you watched on the internet then.
The thing that stands out the most, there's this spider
Right.
that a fella got, popped it in like a little sort of bottle,
Yeah.
and chucked in 80 ants, and the spider, right, just went mental. And I don't know if do spiders eat ants. I don't know if they do, but he wasn't happy with them that they were there, and he was just whizzing around, sort of biting them, not eating them, just giving them a bite, and the ants would sort of just lie there dead. And spider had this system of sort of going, right, I'm going to put the dead ones over there, and he was biting them, dragging them across, putting them in a pile, killing another one, popping it in the pile, and by the end of it, it made like a little pile of dead ants, and he was just there sort of breathing heavily. And that was amazing, because I'd never witnessed that before. Right, there was this
Monkey?
this fella, right, who he had a problem with his eyes, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to the doctors, and he goes, oh, I've got a problem with my eyes. And he goes, yeah, they're bad then, right? He goes, it was in America, you know, like how you have to pay for medical stuff and all that.
Mm.
And the doctor said, oh, if I fix them, it's going to be like 10 grand, right?
Mm.
He's like, but I haven't got the money, doctor. He goes, well, I can't help you then. You know, there's a lot of people with bad eyes like them. Can't do anything for you.
Mm.
So he's going, oh, it's getting worse. He goes, oh, can't do anything. So anyway, so he goes home.
Is that the price of human eyes, is it?
So he goes home, he's looking in the paper, right, and he sort of sees in the adverts at the back, and there's a little advert there saying cheap doctors, right?
No. Bollocks.
Oh no.
No.
So he's thinking, oh, maybe that's what I need, right? So he calls him up. Woman's there. She's like, wait, what can I do? He goes, I've got bad eyes and that. She says, oh, come in tomorrow, we'll sort them out. She's like, brilliant, I'll see you then, right? So he goes down there, and he says, right, you know, I can hardly see. My eyes have got in really bad state and what have you.
Right.
Need to have them sorted out. I don't know what you do, whatever you do,
Right.
I need
Now,
doing.
his eyes are so bad, can he see the doctors?
Not really,
Can't
sort
really-
of
he's
squinting
squinting.
and that, but, you know, so he's like, do I need to see the doctor to, you know, have a word and tell him what problems? She's like, no, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about
Just,
it.
No, I'd be comfortable if it's a...
just you know, just let me inject you, and we'll knock you out, and we'll get on with it. And it's like,
get the
well,
doctor in.
Can I just tell you something about chimps as well, just before you continue?
Go on.
You know, they don't have opposable thumbs.
Now,
which is
why
what-
are opposable thumbs useful? Rick?
Well, to grip something, to do anything like, you know, even simple stuff like writing, so let alone surgery. So without an
But
opposable
can I just check
thumb,
now?
go on.
So if I was a doctor and I was doing any form of difficult surgery, would I need opposable thumbs?
You'd need opposable thumbs
To be a doctor,
And without
okay.
you couldn't do anything. You could.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Because the opposable thumb allowed something in our evolution called the precision grip.
Right.
So without that, you couldn't do anything.
I'm just glad they've got that cleared up, thanks.
So anyway, so he's had the injection, he's nodding off and what have you, right? His eyes are sort of closing and that, he hears the door open, he sort of just sees this little fella coming in, and he's like, hello doctor, he's trying to like, make a chat with it,
Sure.
but like, he's just nodding off. No, just,
Oh,
he
never
or
call
she,
it doctor.
he or she.
These people have done 7 years medical training.
respected people.
How could you call it it?
so anyway, he thought, oh, it's weird he didn't answer, but you know, doctors can be quite moody, you know, they're highly intelligent, they don't need
Especially little airy ones.
well, just idle chit-chat, there's no room for that, do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm here
Yeah,
to do a job.
oh, yeah, but you know, if I'm going in to have my eyes done, I want a little bit of idle chimp chat.
So anyway, time passes, right? He sort of wakes up and he opens his eyes, right? And it's brilliant. He can't believe it.
Eyes are perfect?
He's had the op. He can't believe the sight. He's like, nurse, right? And the nurse comes in because I can't believe it. This is brilliant. I've never had this such good sight. Do you know what I mean? Even when I was a baby,
Yeah.
and my eyes were new,
Yeah.
I didn't see this good.
Great.
So she's like, well, you know, that's
You realise the nurse is a panda.
that's what we do, right? So he said, right, so can I just see the doctor and just say thanks and that? She's like, well, to be honest, you know, he's specialised in what he does. There's a lot of
What
work.
a load of bollocks this is getting.
Please.
Where did you get this from?
No, come on, let's hear the end of the news.
There's a lot of like operations he's got to do.
Yeah.
So you know, leave him to it. He's just having a kip. You know, I'll let him know that you were grateful. You know, pays a check. Off you go. Go and enjoy looking at stuff.
Yeah.
So he said, no, I just what's wrong with that? I just want to see that. She's
No,
like,
it's
no,
fine.
leave it. Just leave.
Yeah, exactly. Leave it. If
And
he's
he's like, yeah, but I can't. You know, I want to thank him. So he's done such a good thing for me. So they're getting into a bit of an argument and what have you, and the voices are raising, right? Door
I'm
opens.
going to wake the doctor up.
Well, that's what they did. They woke it up, right?
They
so,
will get it.
So the door opens, right? Little monkey comes out,
Oh.
and he's like, "What's going on here? It's hospital. Why is the a monkey knocking about?"
Yeah.
So the woman said, "Well, what do you mean? He's the doctor, right?" So he's like, you are having a laugh, aren't you? She goes, look, don't complain, your eyes are sorted,
Yeah.
you know, the doctor's done it, what's the problem? He said, well, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have come here. She said, well, what do you mean you didn't know that? She said, the advert in the paper you read, it's like, chimp doctors.
That is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. That really is the worst.
What? And because his eyes were so bad, he thought it said cheap doctors.
He saw the advert, and it said chimp doctors, but because his eyes were bad, he just saw it.
What journal is this in?
It was years ago, because it sort of says how the monkey sort of carried on working for a few years. He couldn't do anything
Then
about
just
it. He had to
retired to
leave
play
it.
golf.
It's absolute bollocks.
It's
There's no way. I mean, it's not even worth talking about.
So-
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It's the most ridiculous monkey news you've ever heard, and that's saying something.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news, you little round-headed...
Right, years ago, people only drank water, didn't they?
How long ago are we talking?
Going back a bit,
Okay.
and it was just the norm. Everybody was happy with that. It was kind of like, you know, what, you're thirsty, have some water. It was just what you did. And it was more of...
Well, no, not only water.
No, it was. It was kind of like...
Well, they drank milk at birth, didn't
Yeah, as a baby.
they?
But then you don't have that when you're older. What I mean is more now, as we've discussed, is more of everything.
I
So
thought there was fruit juices in.
yeah, but what
Stuff.
I mean, when people were thirsty, it was like, well, have water. They didn't go, what do you want? Do you want this? Do you want that? I'm just saying they
Yeah.
had it for a purpose as opposed to something for the taste buds.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this town, right? It was in the middle of nowhere somewhere.
It's the detail that makes the story,
Yeah.
isn't it? The pinpoint accuracy of detail. So it was a while ago, and it was in a town somewhere. Brilliant.
In the middle of nowhere.
And what used to happen is barrels used to appear, right? These sort of, do you know, like how they have wooden barrels, that beer and that comes in?
Right.
One of those used to just be in this village, and everyone who lived there was used to this sort of drink that used to crop up, right? Well, because they were used to it, they didn't question it. It was kind of like, yeah, it's what happens if you live here.
Sorry, so I don't understand. So what's in the barrel? It's a barrel in the town square.
Well, it's this drink.
and it's not water.
It's not water.
It's a mysterious other drink.
Well, I'll tell you now. It's like a fruit drink.
Okay.
And back then, I mean, I speak to my mum, and she didn't have a banana till she met me dad, and they were made up of fruit.
Sorry, is that some euphemism?
I don't know what that means.
No, but what I mean is
he came a calling with a banana? No, with a bunch of bananas and some flowers.
No, but what I'm saying is, it was like a fruit drink, and for years and years, people didn't drink fruit. It was an eating thing. Do you know what I mean? It was an eating thing.
It was eaten.
Yeah,
What, near Windsor?
it was you're thirsty, have some water. What, you're hungry, have a banana, have an orange.
Sure, but
whatever.
the idea of combining the two, crazy.
They never used them in that way. So anyway,
So a mysterious fruit-based drink is turning up mysteriously in this town for years. No one questions it. No one thinks. They
yeah,
just
just
think,
because it's
fine.
in that area, I'm sure, like in
Here
the
come
same,
the milkman.
no,
Lilt.
but in the same way that in Scotland they'll have fried Mars bars and that.
Yeah.
They don't bat an eyelid at that. Yet when we go there,
Well, no, they didn't appear mysteriously. Did
They
they?
didn't just
They
appear
go-
one day.
I assume they go to the newsagents and take it home and pop it in some batter.
yeah, but what I'm saying is they don't think anything's odd about that. But as time goes on, people have started travelling more, haven't they?
Ooh.
And
You have.
visitors sort of came in to the town. And they were saying, "Oh, I'm a bit thirsty. Have you got any water?" And they were like, "I don't have water. Have some of that in that barrel." And they were like, "What's that?" And they go, "Oh, it's a drink." So they had it, and it was really like refreshing. They were like, "What is this?" And they said, "Don't really know. It just crops up.
Of course they did.
No.
It's what
No.
it's what you get if you live here. It's part of living here."
Right.
So they were like, "Brilliant. Do you sell this?" And no, they don't just sell it. We don't even know where it comes from. Just have some whilst you're here.
Don't even know where it comes from.
No.
So the thing
Bollocks.
is, this helped the town out.
That's
because
before the monkey appears. This shit.
Yeah.
So all these people are enjoying the drink. Word gets out, and
Yeah.
it went on for a couple of years. But they say it travels fast, doesn't it? If it's
Yeah.
good, if it's good news, it travels. If it's good news or bad news, it travels fast.
Yeah.
So
But,
news travels fast.
Yeah, just news. Yeah, news does. So anyway, so some
Fucking
business,
monkey news doesn't. This has taken half an hour.
so some big business fella who was on holiday
Oh.
in.
Any specifics?
He was from Chicago,
Right.
Oh,
and
interesting.
he
How
flew
tall
in.
was he?
Hold on though. So this is after Chicago was founded.
Right.
Yeah, Chicago's knocking about.
Oh, they had loads of drinks then.
Yeah,
they had
alcoholic.
coffee, coffee,
yeah.
tea,
Alcohol.
yeah, they had every drink under the sun.
Yeah, but not like
Every drink under the sun.
Not like-
Apple juice, grape
No,
juice,
they didn't.
ciders, wines,
So he came
Oh,
in.
Chicago was founded. Then,
He came in.
probably 19th century. Oh, there's loads of shit about.
And he was saying, this drink you've got here, he said, it's good stuff, you know.
Mm.
He said, whose is it? And they said, well, it just appears and what have you. And he said, well, that's a bit odd. So anyway, he got a bit annoyed with it because he wanted to take it back with him to Chicago. He knew there was an audience for this.
Well, yeah, because they got bored of tea, coffee, all the other drinks that were available.
Drinks and that, yeah.
So he waited
Mead.
at
They've
night.
been around for years.
Waited behind a truck.
A truck. Also,
So we're in a motorised age.
So at least 1890 something. I'd have thought.
And he saw this little fella bring the barrel out.
How little was the fella?
It's hard to tell in the dark, and they were quite far away. And the barrels, you know, it's hard to work out.
He was short. His arms were long.
So they followed him in, right, and saw what was going on,
Okay.
like how it was being made, and they said, you know what, we can have a go at making this ourselves. And what happened in the end? They tried to imitate it in Chicago. There was a orangey tang, right?
It was made by an orangutan, wasn't it?
And do you know grapefruit juice? They had like ape fruit juice that they were good at crushing the fruit with the feet and what have you. And that's how them two.
So it was great ape fruit drink.
Yeah.
Which probably got abbreviated over time.
Ape fruit juice.
No, it was great ape fruit drink. It was because it tasted great.
That is a load of shit, Carl.
In stockings?
Yeah.
Why were you
He was
dressed as
there. He wasn't in bed. He was sort of out of bed with his little drip, right? He had his little boxer shorts on, just sat there, right, in his pants, right, and he had stockings on.
Yeah, because they stop clots or something. They put them on your legs. It's like, you know, when people have got big veins and they go on a plane.
Right. Yeah.
You said you're not a doctor.
No, but I've seen it because Suzanne's mum did it, and she put them on ridiculously early, like 3 days before we were going away, and she'd never been away before, and everything was like over the top. Do you know what I mean? She's like, I best put them on. And so I put them on, and they like, I don't know what it is. It's something when you're under, your blood doesn't move about the same,
Right.
and it can clot up in your leg. So you wear these tight tights.
And I came in to cheer him up, didn't I?
Yeah.
Was that a nice cheery experience, him coming in?
I had a headache at the time. I think I was a bit stressed out.
Well, he's just the man you want at that point.
Yeah.
He reassured you, I imagine.
Well, it's weird how it suddenly all happened quick. It was like as soon as he came in, it's like they got the finger out. And when I say
Not
that,
literally.
I mean
Yeah.
suddenly I was being rushed down to, you know, have me stuff done. And I woke up and there was an Irish woman over me going, are you alright? You alright? And I said, oh, it's stinging a bit. She said, I'll give you some more morphine. And I sort of put my head up to have a look at my tackle because I wanted to see
If it was still there.
what was attached to it. Do you know what I mean? Because they said something about they might leave some string hanging out of it so they can pull the tube out.
It makes you talk.
So I had a look for that. Couldn't see any of that.
Yeah.
But as she put the morphine in, all the muscles in your body go funny. My head just collapsed.
Your head collapsed.
Yeah, I sort of looked up to look at my stuff, but then she said, oh, you just need a little bit of morphine. And she put that in, and I just sort of went, oof. And then they sent me home about 2 hours after. But I'm in agony now, and
Are you in agony right now as we speak?
yeah, it's hurting.
Now, are you a man who's had this kind of hospital experience before? Is this your whole first time?
I don't go to hospitals and stuff because I don't like them messing about. But it does make you think now, do you know what I mean? Like, life and everything. It's weird how it's all happened in the last month, from seeing that bee sort of die.
No.
Well, not really.
No. This is not a near-death experience.
It is
You
a
had a
little bit.
routine operation to remove kidney stones because you don't drink enough water.
No, I know, but
This is not a shark attack.
yeah, but it's all life-threatening. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to fill out forms, would you? Saying if everything goes wrong, Suzanne can have the house or whatever. And then you find out more about the body as well, which has been sort of doing me head in a bit. You're more aware of stuff in your body, which I don't like knowing about.
Yeah.
They keep taking your heartbeats and stuff, and your blood pressure. I don't like knowing about that. I just like, leave it. It's happening. Don't be messing with it. Stop measuring it.
Stop measuring it.
No, do you know what I
That's
mean?
same with
though?
a knob.
It's that thing of like, they put that thing
That's what
on.
the anaesthetist was doing when you were under, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was comparing the diagram to the actual thing.
Oh, God.
The fella across the way from me had the same thing as me, but he'd had it a couple of days ago and he was in agony. So that doesn't help when he's saying, "Oh, I've been to hell and back." Like, don't tell me that.
Sure.
I don't want to know. Just say it was all right and stuff. So it just the whole thing of a hospital is stressful. You know what I mean? They wake you up like every half an hour in the night, saying, "How do you feel?" It's like, well, what, it's 3:30. What are you doing? I've got to have it done again in a couple of weeks because what they've done now, they've popped that straw up, but the stone's still in there because they didn't have the laser team in with them. Blast the stone, and then that time they're probably going to leave a little bit of string out the end. Then they have to go about 3 days later and they pull it out. Tell you what though, when you are because when you're in hospital, you've got a lot of time just to sit there and think about stuff. And what I was thinking about is, what is the closest thing sort of living that's nothing?
I don't know what you mean.
What?
What's like the closest, like, do you know at some point something's gone from nothing to something? Hasn't it?
No, I don't understand what you mean.
Something, at some point people were nothing, and then something happened and there was something. Do you know what I mean?
But they were never nothing, were they?
Do you mean what is the first and lowest and most primitive and most simple form of life?
No,
He's right here in this room, Rick.
say like when you look at a stick insect,
Right.
you go, right, there's a slight crossover there from a stick to a living thing.
No, it's not.
It didn't used to be a stick.
No, it's not. There's no biological relationship between it and a stick.
But there isn't much difference between the two, is what I mean.
Of course there is.
It's a huge
There isn't.
difference.
They just sit there looking like a stick. That's their skill.
Yes, but there's nothing to do with being a stick. It's like camouflage. That's like saying when a soldier puts on combat gear, you're saying he's a cross between a human and a shrub. He's not a cross between a human and a shrub.
No,
is
but
he?
that's man-made
From a distance
stuff.
you can't see him. That's the same as the stick
No,
insect.
but that isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, have you seen them weird things that just look like they sort of look like a leaf?
Yeah, they're insects that have evolved to look like a leaf. So a bird thinks, oh, there's no tea there.
No,
That's
but
not a juicy insect. This is leaf. I don't eat leaves.
Yeah, but at
Forget
some
it.
point something has had it away with a leaf.
No,
What?
at no point has something had it away with a leaf.
No, to make it look that much like a
No.
leaf.
At no point did a beetle shag a leaf. There's nothing on a genetic level or molecular level, anything to do with it having anything to do with a stick or a leaf. It's superficial. It's the way it looks. That's all it. That's like saying chameleons must have mated with green once. They are green.
No, but
it
what-
looks like a leaf.
What I don't understand is,
It has evolved to blend in perfectly with its surroundings and fool predators.
but then how does it meet? How does it have relationships? It will be going around sort of having it away with a leaf.
No, it won't, because it doesn't know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. They do it with pheromones and attraction, and it's not like a stick insect will be talking to a stick for ages and go, "Oh, I've wasted my time here. This club's dead." Rude.
I was chatting to her. She was foxy, but she was giving me nothing.
But Dave, that's not a stick insect. That's a stick.
What are you talking about?
That's a stick. You've been talking to a stick all night. I thought,
I can't believe it. I just thought she had a great slim figure.
no, it's actually a real stick.
But I've been reading a lot about, I like spiders and stuff. Just reading about them. And there's one, right? It's got big legs.
Yeah.
Doesn't use them. It goes around floating in the air on a bit of webbage. Like a
He
kite.
just took a gamble then, didn't he? He took a gamble. He thought, do you know what? I'm going to go with webbage. Don't know if it's a word, not sure, but I could just say web, and I'm going to go with webbage. I'm going to risk it. And it didn't pay off, did it?
Webbage!
But that's how it gets about. It's in the air like a kite. And
Yeah.
it's just floating about.
I've seen one, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about weirdness. The way all that goes on, and this is what I can't get my head round.
You have got your head round.
But do they get ill then?
He's just, for those listening at home, he has just bumped his head against the microphone.
Trying to mate with it because it's perfectly round, this microphone.
No, but when I was, like, this is what I'm saying, when I was in hospital and stuff, you do think about how others live, because insects don't have operations. Are they built better than us to survive in this world?
The trap you seem to fall into again and again and again is you cannot conceive of the fact that insects and animals do not have consciousness and personality and communication. They do not function in the way that humans do. You've seen so many Disney cartoons, you believe them now to have a life and wear bowler hats and go to work. But just in the same way that the cavemen didn't have Flintstone-type cars and have a little house,
But
you can't seem to understand that animals don't work in that way.
But what I mean is, you're saying that no animals or insects know anything, yet when you see them things on nature programmes where a load of ants are having a walk, there's always one at the front who's leading it all. So one of them's got to know something.
First. Or there are leaders in.
Yeah, but the other ants are going follow him.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not vocalising that in any sense that you understand it.
No, they're not saying follow him, but they sort of look as if to sort of say, I'm going this way.
Without cognitive
speaking.
reasoning.
It's not made a conscious decision to act in that way.
Yeah, but this is when you
if a raindrop falls on a bird's beak and it moves away because instinctively it's hardwired to be wary of things which drop on its beak in case it's dangerous. It's not thinking, oh crumbs, I better get out of the way. It just does it because it's somehow hardwired into it to act that way. But it doesn't stop for a moment and think. Which we don't really, except we then are able to rationalise our fears and our actions.
Well, I've been watching birds more than insects recently.
Oh, okay, you moved on from
in the last week, just because I've sort of looked at the ant and the bee and that. And what I've found with pigeons is they've got wings, yet they walk a lot.
I'd love that to be a thesis where he got like a £500,000 grant from a university, and I said, well, Pilkington seems he's done ants and he's done bees. He's followed ants. Apparently they're not doing anything. Some of them are lazy. We are granting him another £500,000. He's been working on it for a year. Please welcome Karl Pilkington.
Karl, what have you found?
Well, even though pigeons have wings, they walk a lot.